Now the Chatam Sofer says an extraordinary chidush. $1 million minimum is what it's worth. Certainly something you've never heard, and something I only learned now. Chatam Sofer, in his introduction to his Sefer, in Yoreh De'ah, he says something that if he didn't say it, you couldn't even think of it. He says, of course, the level of prophecy that Avraham Avinu had was no less than the later prophets, which were his descendants, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Yechezkel, Ezekiel. They all spoke to Hashem. They had messages of what's going to happen in the future. So of course, Avraham was no less than them. Yet, Avraham Avinu did not attain access to this prophecy. Why not? Because he did not have time to do the preparations that are required to receive prophecy. Because prophecy is not like in people's imaginations where, you're sleeping and all of a sudden God comes to you and talks to you. Or you're walking around and all of a sudden you hear a message. Yaron. Yes, who is it? It's your son. Why you have that voice? Oh, I had something in my mouth, Abba. Oh, okay, fine. People think sometimes people are talking to them. Usually it's either they have shedim in their mind because of all the tumah or because their kids are playing a joke on them. Avraham Avinu, this is Kodesh Kodashim, our forefathers. Certainly he had no less prophecy than his descendants that were prophets. But yet he did not attain it because he did not have time to prepare himself. You have to clean yourself, you have to purify yourself, you have to meditate, do all types of things in order to receive prophecy. This is also one of the things that distinguished Moshe Rabbeinu from everyone else. All of the other prophets received their prophecy while they were laying down, while they were out. Whereas Moshe Rabbeinu was able to walk around and speak to Hashem, something unlike anybody else before or after him. But even Moshe Rabbeinu had to prepare before Hashem would speak to him. This is the reason why Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, and he's the only one he told this to, that he should leave his wife, Tzipora, Tzadikah. Why? Because the preparation that's required if you're married takes longer than the preparation if you're not married, because of the issues of purity and impurity. And Hashem says, I want to talk to you all the time. Whenever I feel like it, I want to talk to you. I don't want to wait for you 2 days, 3 days for you to prepare. I want to talk to you whenever. So I can't have anything get in the way. Leave your wife. Therefore, you're always pure. I can talk to you all the time, like we're friends. If you read some of the things that the Gemara, the Midrash, the Pirkei de Rabbi Natan, lots of Chachamim talk about the relationship between the conversations between Hashem and Moshe Rabbeinu. It's literally like unbelievable relationship. And this was due to the sacrifice that Moshe Rabbeinu had to make on a daily basis, living with no wife. Who can do that? By choice. So now Avraham Avinu, Avraham Oavi, Avraham my beloved, as great as he was, and the access to prophecy that he had, he did not attain it because he didn't have time to prepare himself. Why? Why didn't Avraham Avinu have time? I mean, this is great things. You could elevate yourself. You could do all types of amazing things. You could learn, elevate your Torah. Avraham, what are you doing that it's keeping you so busy that you cannot talk to Hashem? Says the Chatam Sofer, Avraham Avinu did not have time to prepare himself to receive the prophecy. Why? Because he was always teaching and serving his students and helping the masses get closer to Hashem. In fact, even when HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself came to speak to Avraham Avinu, in the middle of the conversation, in the middle of the prophecy, Avraham Avinu says, 1 second, Hashem, I got 3 guests. I have 3 Arabs that came to me. He didn't know they're angels. He thought they're 3 Arabs. They could have been Hamas. They could have been Palestine. They could have been whoever. Oh, it can't be Palestine. They weren't existent back then. And today they don't exist, just imaginary. But nonetheless, could have been somebody. Hashem, 1 second, I got to go attend to these guests. You're talking to Hashem, the King of Kings. Ishtabach Shimon Ad. What are you doing? Somebody's in the middle of a conversation with their boss that gives them $15 an hour, they won't walk away. Here, Avraham Avinu is talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says, 1 second, Hashem, I got to go. I have 3 people, I don't know, they're Arabs. They may be idol worshippers that pray to the dust on their feet. So I got to wash their feet to see if they allow me to wash their feet, and they're not idol worshippers. But if they don't allow me to wash their feet, that means that they're going to gather the dust on their feet that walked in the desert all day and pray to it. So they're idol worshippers. So I got to leave you, the King of Kings, to go attend to them and then give them some food, shecht a whole bull for them. Each one gets his own tongue. So I'll be back whenever I finish. 5, 6, 7, 10 hours. Avraham Avinu paskined that it's greater to host the guest in order to get them closer to Hashem and do KIRUV than it is to speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. Where did Avraham Avinu learn that? From Hashem himself. From Hashem himself. How so? Hashem obviously knew that he was going to talk to Avraham. But it was possible that Avraham is going to go leave to go attend to guests like he does every day. So what did Hashem do? He took the sun out of its shell to stop guests from coming. So even Hashem paskins the same way as Avraham Avinu. That if guests come in the middle of our conversation, in the middle of the prophecy, Avraham is going to have to go. So let me just stop the guests from coming by putting out the sun so nobody's coming. And that way me and Avraham can have a chavruta. That's where Avraham got it from. Avraham's wisdom was beyond comprehension. Already at 3 years old, he knew more than we could ever imagine in our wildest dreams. Also another person that the chokhmah of Shlomo HaMelech, as great as it was, is not compared to the chokhmah of Avraham Avinu. Chazal say that Avraham Avinu was greater than Shlomo. Avraham Avinu, with all of his greatness, decided that in order for him to serve Hashem, he has to go leave the conversation every single day, leave the books, leave the elevation of himself in prophecy, and go teach the lowest level of students who Hashem is. That's what the Khatam Sofer says. He says he didn't have great students that were extraordinary Talmidei Chachamim. No, he's telling them, listen, Hashem. Oh, you mean the idol? No, not the idol. Chamo, not the idol. Hashem. What's Hashem? What's Hashem? Hashem, the God. God is the one that created the world. Not the idol. Idol, you made it. You bought it from Walmart. That's not God. That's nothing. That's garbage. Hashem, he created the world. Okay? Say thank you, Hashem. Okay, thank you, Hashem. Buy a t-shirt from Bezat Hashem shop. Says thank you, Hashem. Okay, I'll buy a t-shirt. Buy a cup. Says thank you, Hashem. Okay, I'll say thank you, Hashem. Okay. Next day, all right, now we're going to learn Aleph Bet. That's the language that Hashem created the world with. He took these letters and he created the world with them. Aleph, Aleph. Bet, Bet. Gimel, Gimel. Dalet, Aleph. No, not Aleph. Dalet, Dalet. Teaching them Aleph Bet. He's dealing with people that are full of immorality. Hey, Rabbi, listen, I love you and everything, but I need help. What happened? I can't stop wasting seed. I can't stop cheating on my wife. I can't stop stealing my business. I can't stop driving on Shabbat. That's who Avraham Avinu is dealing with every day. He's dealing with idol worshippers, with immoral people. He's dealing with people that are clueless about Hashem. That's who he's busy with. And that's who he decided to leave prophecy behind for. That's who he sacrificed everything for. And therefore, says the Khatam Sofer, Hashem in his goodness says that it's not possible for Avraham to lose out in attaining a higher level of prophecy as a result of his sacrifice for my children, for my creation. He is my servant. So there's no need for preparations. What does that mean? Hashem, Ishtabach Shimo La'ad, says, Avraham Avinu, Avraham, my child, Avraham, my son, he doesn't need preparations. I'm going to him. All the other prophets are prepared to speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sometimes for a few days, longer, all types of meditations, readings, elevations, all types of words. Avraham Avinu, no preparation. Right now, he just finished making some shish kebab for a few Arabs that came to him. So a few times, okay, he got this guy to say Birkat HaMazon. This guy, he said Shema Yisrael. That guy, he's still working on Aleph Bet. He still has a little bit of the sauce on his hands. He's telling Sarah, Tzadikah, Sarah Imenu, Sarah, make some cakes. We have some guests. Right now, Avraham still has the apron around him, running the house. Hashem says, I'm going. Now I'm going. Yeah, but you didn't prepare. No preparation for Avraham. Why? Avraham cannot lose as a result of serving me, as a result of his sacrifice for my children. I'm going to Avraham to go and tell him my plans with Sodom. Because it cannot be that since such a tzaddik, he's such a tzaddik that he would lose out as a result of his inability to elevate himself, to learn more Torah, to pray even more, to have... He can't do it, not because he's playing basketball, not because he's sleeping all day, not because he wants to watch the stock market. No, he can't do it because he's constantly toiling in getting my children to do TeShuva. He doesn't have a minute to breathe. There's a new message coming every second. There's a new person. There's a new problem. There's Shlom Bayit issues. There's Avodah Zarah issues. There's all types of... Non-stop people are coming to him. That's the reason why he can't. So I'm making an exception for Avraham Avinu. No preparations needed, Avraham. I'm coming to you. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with Sodom. I'm going to tell you the whole plan. I'm going to tell you the whole prophecy. Without any necessity for you to prepare. Because you sacrificed for my children. You are my beloved. We see here, Rabotai, so many things. First and foremost, we see that anyone that makes a sacrifice for the sake of getting Am Yisrael closer to Hashem, for the sake of getting the world closer to Hashem, closer to His Torah, will never lose out as a result of it. It's not possible. It's not possible for them to lose out as a result of real sacrifice. Whether it's major sacrifice in donations and support, or time, or teaching, or effort, whatever it is that you make as a major sacrifice for the sake of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's children, you will certainly never lose as a result. Impossible. Even if it's a prophecy that all other prophets were required to prepare themselves. There's Chachamim that have written about prophecy. I believe it was Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin has in his Sefer the entire roadmap of how to attain Ruach HaKodesh and even prophecy, what you need to do at each level of preparation. Literally, instructions. Just like when you buy Legos, they give you, okay, step 1, take the Lego out. Step 2, get these pieces. Step 3, take these 2 pieces put together. Step 4, Rabbi Chaim Volozhin has literally a step-by-step process of how to attain prophecy, how to attain Ruach HaKodesh. When a person learns even the first step, they realize, okay, it's pretty much bitul Torah for me to learn any of the other steps. I can't even do the first step. All of the prophets had to do this. Avraham Avinu? No. Why? He doesn't have time. What do you mean he doesn't have time? Doesn't have time? Tough luck. No tough luck. He doesn't have time because he's answering WhatsApp messages for broken houses. He's answering WhatsApp messages for people that are addicted to pornography. He's answering, he's dealing, he's calling, he's going to people's houses. He's doing whatever he possibly can with all of his time to publicize my name. That's why he doesn't have time. You want me to judge that my son, my beloved, is going to lose as a result of sacrificing his time, his effort, his benefit, his good for the sake of my children? No, opposite. He's my beloved. He's a true servant. So the first thing we see is that you can never lose as a result of sacrificing for the sake of KIRUV, for the sake of publicizing Hashem's name. Number 2, we see who Hashem calls his beloved, who Hashem favors. Number 3, we see the clearest difference you could ever imagine that distinguishes the Jewish leaders that follow the Torah and everyone else. Jew or Gentile leaders, doesn't make a difference, that are following politics, their own opinion, popular opinion, votes, likes. We are meant to be a light unto the nations, not to follow their misguided practices. Remember, every Jew has to remember that he's a Jew and she's a Jew. We don't celebrate non-Jewish holidays, even if they seem harmless.